Hey everyone, welcome to the Roto Grinders Morning Crime Podcast. I'm your host, Stevie TPFL. It's November, it's the 18th of November. It's 2016 and it's Friday. So all you 9-to-5ers out there, you love today. It's your favorite, still my favorite day of the week too, because NASCAR's almost here for the last time this week. Getting ready to head down to the track. So ready to talk some basketball before that happens. And it's Friday, so the Siege, how you doing, my friend?
Doing right. That game went up. That game, Thursday night football game, went good for once. You know, you run the full fade. Basically, you run you had one stack, ran the full fade on everything else, and looking very good. Start to the football week, and I don't even know who I'm playing yet.
Yeah, and you made an argument for yesterday on the pod. You know, Thursday we do our football podcast, and you said just because this game looks juicy doesn't mean we can't fade it like we fade every Thursday game. Ownership percentages on people, and I think your full fade here is going to work out. Like, I was super busy with media day all day on Thursday, so like I put in one lineup and I realized like how much exposure I had Monday, Thursday to this game, and I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to fade it with my projected cash lineup for Sunday and see what happens. So it'd be interesting to see how it works out. The game didn't go as planned for anybody, and when you see a guy like Luke Kuechly get carted off the field in tears, dude, it hits you.
Stupid NBC. I did not need to see that.
But then they're like,
they kept going back.
I don't need to see a grown man cry.
I don't need to see grown men look like that. Like, thanks. I was like literally sick to my stomach.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's just like you have to almost think that
he was knocked out cold. He was knocked out cold, man.
Yeah.
Concussion, like lock of the year.
So, but we have a really interesting basketball slate here tonight. We're looking at like 4 games over 215 totals, and a lot of those games are actually projected to be close. We don't have some lines in some games that could be high scoring as well, waiting for some injury news. So it's a really, really interesting basketball slate tonight.
Yeah, this is going to be one of my favorite slates of the year. It's going to just be so much fun to play. I'm definitely going to script this slate. I didn't think I have a 5:30 show, which normally means I don't script, but I'm going to break the rule because this slate is just too much fun. I think I have a Grinders live show tomorrow at 5:30, but this slate is just too much fun to not play massive volume and have a lot of bullets in there. So, yellow.
Yeah, man, 10 games, really interesting 10 games. So we have 10 games, so let's get into it. We have Atlanta visiting Charlotte. Obviously, if you guys haven't checked out our sponsor, Rosters.com, we're going to have the Rosters value plays after we do the game-by-game breakdown, the guys that we're looking at rosters for value. If you haven't checked out Rosters.com, they're the sponsor of the pod, so make sure you guys check them out. Use promo code GRINDERS so you guys get incentives here at Roto Grinders. It's just a fun site. The cap is tough, so the value plays that we give out are definitely going to help you build your lineups. So make sure you guys are checking them out. We have Atlanta at Charlotte here in this game. We'll start with the injury news. It's Dwight Howard that's questionable. It's Sefolosha that's questionable. We don't have this game yet because these guys are questionable. I think Howard's more on the probable side. It'd be interesting. I don't know if he'll miss this game.
I think I don't think the line would be out if they actually weren't sure about. Like, the line would be out if Howard was probable. So I think he's a legitimate questionable here, and I think it does matter because Muscala would be a very interesting value play against the Charlotte Bigs.
Yeah, I thought I'd read that he had practiced Thursday, but I guess
that might be true, but like the line would be out there if they thought he was going to play. Like, Thabo Sefolosha is not moving a line.
Of course, no. I definitely agree. Like I was going to say, though, there's just so much injury news. I thought that Howard was one of the guys that was more probable. I haven't questionable, so we'll go with the questionable tag here. Sefolosha, if he's out, it just kind of boosts some of the Charlotte players. Not really going to boost anybody from Atlanta, in my opinion.
I think it actually boosts some Bazemore. He really disappointed against Milwaukee, but I think he'd be in a good spot there against Charlotte. But the guy that I loved in this game, and it's going to take pretty much an act of God for me not to have 100% of this guy, Kemba Walker. He's just a beast. He's a beast at home. And point guards against Atlanta, I've said it a lot of times on these airwaves, I'm attacking every single point guard that runs through Atlanta. You know, we both played Giannis at 7% on Wednesday against Atlanta, and he went completely ham. I don't expect it to be any different for Kemba in this spot.
Yeah, 42 plus fantasy points in 4 of his last 5 games. The game that he didn't have, it was against Cleveland, and it was still a good game. Like, he just didn't have the assists and rebounds, like the other stats. He still had 0 turnovers in that game. The biggest thing with Kemba is he turns the ball over a lot, and he's not doing that right now. So it really boosts his value. He gets here with Schroeder. You've mentioned it. I've mentioned it. It's something that we're really believers in. Point guards against Atlanta this season, and it's changing here with Kemba Walker. I'm on that train with you. What else stands out to you in this game as a whole?
Yeah, I don't mind a little Nick Batum. He's been kind of taking over the number 2 role in this offense a bit lately. I don't mind that, especially if this total comes out and it's like 210 or something like that. I don't mind some Batum. He's had over 40 in 3 of his last 3, and his price is still kind of in the mid-6s, so I don't mind that. But other than that, I don't really have much love for any of these other guys.
The one guy I'm looking at here, if Dwight misses this game, Paul Millsap played 38 minutes against Milwaukee the other night. We like targeting front courts against Charlotte. Their front court's pretty weak. I just don't see anybody that really matches up well with Paul Millsap.
Yeah, he got a bit of a price bump on DraftKings, 7,800. It's like, I think he's a more cash game guy. I don't think he's ever going to hurt you. I just don't see the 50-plus ceiling on him for I'm looking for in tournaments. 74 on FanDuel, I think, is a better – I think I'd play him over there than on DraftKings.
Man, I'm becoming the one that is starting to find floor cash game plays. I need a classing lesson, CJ. We need to talk. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, none of these, like, I mean, we're gonna have some guys we're gonna talk about at minimum or close to minimum in matchups that I just feel are much better.
Yeah, it's just a situation. I don't mind them. It's just I'm not in love.
Phoenix heading to Indy. So there's 219 total here. Indy's favored by 7.5, and we have no injury news as of right now. We'll start with the Phoenix side. Booker, Bledsoe, Knight, Warren, they've been eating into each other's usage more and more as the season goes along.
It's about time Brandon Knight got some freaking minutes. If you watch the package on Wednesday, I literally said, yeah, Brandon Knight's going to finally get minutes one of these nights and win someone a tournament. Well, that night was Wednesday. He finally got some minutes, and he did what I was waiting for him to do all season. I think the minutes are going to be sustainable in the 25 to 27 minute range. And at 4,800 on FanDuel and at, what is he over here on DraftKings? He is 4,300 and shooting guard eligible. Just that's a lock and load for me.
Yeah, the biggest thing here, like, Knight got minutes and TJ Warren lost minutes.
Yeah, it's been about time for, like, he was going to have to get more minutes here at some point. And it might not be Warren who loses the minutes next game. Maybe it'll be someone else. But I just think Knight's been playing too well to stay on the bench. And at 4,300, there's a risk, I guess, he only plays 20 minutes. But at this point, he's been showing it offensively and in terms of the number of shots he's taking that I'm just going to have to roster him at this price where he's shooting guard eligible.
800, like, the opportunity cost there is so that you have to take a shot on him, in my opinion. Well, TJ Warren, with his price up and minutes dropping last game, I think he might be a tournament play, but honestly, might take the wait-and-see approach and see what happens in this game.
I think there's a bunch of small forwards I would just rather roster.
And I Booker here, Indy top 10 in the league against shooting guards this season. I think that makes Eric Bledsoe an interesting play. Love to hear your thoughts on him.
I just don't see a world in which I roster Eric Bledsoe. It's just like it's a guy that I just don't see the ceiling. He's going to have to literally score 30 real-life points to get to a ceiling at that 6,600 price tag. I'd rather take the guy on the other side. I'd rather take Jeff Teague, who's finally starting to put it together. The minutes have been there a lot more consistently, 35 in 3 of his last 4. He's been doing it all with the shot, with the assists. I'd much rather take a shot on that.
Yeah, I know him, Teague. He's been a guy that I've been rostering on and off lately. Like his price just makes him interesting. We're looking at a game that's 219. Indy has one of the highest implied totals as far as team totals go on the slate. Like, I'm not a big Paul George person for fantasy. I do think he's a real good, like, real life NBA player. I think Teague is probably going to be my most exposure from Indy on the slate.
I thought it was going to be Teague, and then I just saw the Miles Turner price on DraftKings. I'm in. I've been bashing Miles Turner for I don't know how long, but I think this is the spot to buy. He's 6K now against Phoenix, who has 4 guys with over 4 drives a game and 3 over 6. It's just too much block upside here for Turner to not play at 6K. Could he bust because of foul trouble, which has been his problem? Absolutely. But at 6K, I have to have the exposure in this game.
Yeah, I don't hate that play. It's probably not where I'm going to end up. But I get the play. I don't like the matchup with Tyson Chandler, and then the minutes have been all over the place for Turner this year. That worries me always.
Yeah, a lot of it's been foul trouble. Like, I think that it's time to buy.
All right. Anything else from this?
No, not really. Off CJ Miles, off of Monta Ellis, unless we get news that one of those guys is sitting.
Yeah, the only thing I'm looking at here, like, who's ever going to be on the second unit is the guy I'm going to target.
Yeah, it's just a 10-game slate. I don't think we have to get that cute unless there's an injury.
Detroit heading to Cleveland to take on the Cavs. We have a 205 total here. Cleveland favored by 9. The only injury news that we have in this game is J.R. Smith is still questionable to return. We'll start with the Detroit side. Anything stand out to you here against Cleveland?
No.
That's kind of where I'm at too. Like, this game, even with a 205 total, is a game that I don't love.
There's the only guy I have any sort of interest in other than LeBron, because LeBron could go for like 60 in this spot. Like, doesn't he just destroy Detroit? Am I just hallucinating? Time to.
Yeah, I don't have it pulled up. I haven't looked into that.
Let's find out. I can quickly type that in. I could have sworn that LeBron has gone off against Detroit this season or in the past, but it's just a situation where it's just like both these teams are pretty healthy. The minutes can be rotated. The different guys can get hot. I'm not really wild about it.
Mine for Detroit is Ish Smith. He's just so cheap. Like, if you're wanting to get in some studs, like, he's 5,400 on FanDuel. Like, there's a good chance he's going to get you 5x at that price.
Yeah. So 4 games last year against actually, it didn't pull up the ones from last year. That's really weird. Did he not play them last year? Oh, hold on. That was 2 seasons ago, but the numbers were very good. And then last season, the numbers were just fine as well. So, yeah, he's had some decent numbers here against 6 games over 40 DK points. Fine for cash games, I would say.
Yeah, Kyrie continues to have a decent price. I don't mind Kevin Love, like, especially on DraftKings where you're getting the 3-point bonus. He's just having the year that we expected last year.
I kind of want to roster Tristan Thompson here. Going to be on the floor trying to guard Andre Drummond, a lot of rebounds. I have a little interest there.
Yeah, centers against Detroit's a thing.
Yeah, and Tristan Thompson is kind of like the right type of center. Like, he's not like a high usage guy. He's kind of a guy that's going to just get those rebounds. And if he can find his way to 10 points, 10, 20 isn't out of the question here.
Yeah, double-double bonus on DraftKings. Always like that little bonus.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's kind of where I would be.
Yeah, the only other guy that I have a little interest, I guess, honestly, I really don't. I was going to say KCP, but I'm not going to go there. Taking on Oklahoma City. This game's in Oklahoma City. We have a 219 total in this game. 9.5 favors Oklahoma City for this.
That total's too low.
The Brooklyn side. Anything stand out to you here, Oklahoma City?
That total's too low. I don't know if you heard me there. Sorry, you cut out. that total is too low at 219. Like, I'm serious. It's too low. Do I have what interest do I have in the Brooklyn side? Well, we have to see what the status on German just got ruled out. Excellent. So we're back to playing roulette here with the Brooklyn Wings. They're all firmly in play for tournaments. Your guess is as good as mine as which one's going to go off, but you're going to have some tournament exposure to them. The guy I love in this game, though, is Brook Lopez. He's just been a beast when he's played this year, simply put. The guy has just simply been a beast, and he played more than that 28-minute cap in that last game. He played 31 against the Lakers, just went absolutely bananas. I don't see Steven Adams guarding him at the three-point line, and you joked that you made fun of me when I said you can just hand Brook Lopez 2 threes. He's basically a lock for 2 threes these days. He really is.
Yeah, I laugh just because it's Brook Lopez and we're talking about shooting threes, but like he's the guy I have interest in. I like Trevor Booker in up-pace games. We're going to get an up-pace game here. I like Booker in this spot as a value power forward. And
the problem with that is power forward value is just like available. Everyone's a value at power forward today.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of that, definitely depends on Anthony Davis, which we'll talk about in a little while as well. The roulette of guards and small forwards here for Brooklyn on a 10-game slate, if that kills...
It's going to, though.
But who do you feel comfortable with rostering here out of those 3 guys?
I don't feel comfortable rostering any of them, but it's a 219 total, and Brooklyn's going to score over 100 points. One of them's going off. And someone in your tournament's going to have them.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's
annoying. I don't want to play this game, but I don't think we have a choice either.
Looking at the Oklahoma City side of things, Westbrook is good at basketball. Oladipo found his shot in the last game. I'm going back to the well on Oladipo here. He's just too cheap again.
I wish we had done a podcast that day because I knew I needed to be on Oladipo. It was only a matter of time till the shot came back. And DraftKings didn't even let us get a second day at the low price. We planned these struggles for 2 months, and they just jack his price right back off after one good shooting game. Come on, man. Come on.
He's 5,500 on FanDuel where you got to play 2 shooting games.
Yeah, he's going to be uber chalky over there. You could almost fade him and just hope that this game was a blip, but I don't really feel comfortable doing that. But, I mean, if he's going to be 35% owned, I'll start thinking about it.
Yeah, for sure. In tournaments, game theory-wise, sure. Where's Westbrook sit on your stars today, like list-wise? We're at the point where we almost need 70 fantasy points.
I think he's just a fade because I think he's going to be super popular.
If you're fading him, then you really definitely want to get some Oladipo.
I guess the question is, like people won't play them together, right? So if people are playing Oladipo, is Westbrook going to go underowned? I guess I kind of got to figure out which one is going to be the lower owned guy, and that's probably the guy I want.
Yeah, just have to pay attention. If you have incentives here, Roto-Grinders, you can definitely check out the projected ownership. Thoughts on Steven Adams as a cheap?
I don't really. I mean, we do like bigs against Brooklyn, I guess. Sure,
his minutes
have
been so safe. Adams, we know he's going to play 30 minutes.
Yeah, tell that. Yeah, except the one day I needed him to play 30 minutes, then he didn't play 30 minutes. But Stevie's not joking. He really is safe for 30 minutes. 30, 31, 24. Day I lost a slam by 2. 28, 29, 35, 32, 35, 30, 33.
Siege runs good. Let's move on. We have Golden State heading to Boston. Oh, buddy. The injury news here that we have to pay attention to. Draymond Green, questionable. I think he's more on the side of probable. This game's at 226, and Golden State's only favored by 6.5. You have to kind of think that Boston's going to be full strength there.
I don't think it matters. I think that's the true line, even if I think that's actually the Al Horford's outline.
Okay.
If Jake Crowder is back though, I remember almost queuing for the Aces final last year, stacking this game. Back when and it went to double overtime. All of you people that have been burned by Kelly Olynyk over the last week, and I have been counting him in every spot. I fully admit this. I just have to warn you. They played last year in Boston. This was his stat line. 37 minutes, 28 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, a block, 21 shot attempts. And that was against Bogut. Zaza Pachulia is probably the only center that is more immobile than Andrew Bogut. I'm going to ride or die by Kelly Olynyk one more time.
You're hoping that Horford's out.
I assume he's going to be. I'm assuming he's out. I would be shocked if he played.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He was practicing on Tuesday. He just can't get cleared, so that's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
he's trending in the right direction.
There was just a report I read, and it sounded like he wasn't going to rush it, and it might be the end of the month. I think that they're taking a long-term approach with him, and I think Jake Crowder returns. I think Jake Crowder is the one that returns, and his price is so tempting at $5,700.
Yes. Man, there's so much goodness in this game. If you're game stacking a game tonight, you game stack this game.
I'm going to game stack this game about every which way I can possibly imagine.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. Golden State side, Durant, Curry, Draymond, and even a slight interest in Clay.
Clay's the guy that could go off here. He's got the tough matchup here. Just out of curiosity, let's see what he did against Boston. Oh, he missed the Boston game last year. That's what happened. I remember now. He missed it with the ankle versus Boston Celtics by a game. Pretty sure that he missed that game last year. And he did miss that game last year. So, yeah. But he did pretty poorly against Bradley, though, when he did play. So I think that's the guy I would leave off. But obviously, if I'm stacking it every which way, I'll have a sprinkle.
If I'm playing a bunch of teams, I definitely want exposure to Clay. If I'm playing through Max, he's going to be the guy that's left off.
Right. Couldn't agree with you more.
Boston side, Isaiah Thomas, if you're Bradley, if Crowder returns, Marcus Smart, Kelly Olynyk.
I'm definitely off of Marcus Smart if Crowder returns. That's the one guy I would politely disagree with.
No, and that makes a lot of sense too. I didn't even think about that. We would expect big minute hit to Marcus Smart if that happens.
Yeah, he's the guy whose minutes are going to get hit. Now, they could go small, right? They could just throw Amir at the 5 or Kelly at the 5 and just small ball the hell out of this game. And they tried that last year too. They were like, all right, we'll small. They were just like, all right, Warriors, you want to play small? That's fine. We'll match you. In 2 games. They beat them in Golden State too last year by doing that same thing. So don't be surprised if the Celtics go small here. So maybe Smart isn't as bad as I was thinking.
Bradley's the guy that I like a lot in this game. He's been consistent all year. I know he hasn't shown a lot of ceiling lately, but I feel like this is a game that Bradley and Thomas both have just a tremendous ceiling.
Bradley at 7K is going to be the underarm guy and the guy that I want to make sure that I don't forget.
I think we covered this game a lot. We both like this game a lot. It's going to be probably spoiler alert for the people that have incentives at Roto Grinders in the expert survey. That is just amazing. Boston's going to be my heaviest target team today.
I already typed them in.
Yeah, so let's move on. Portland at New Orleans. We don't have a line in this game. Obviously, we're waiting to hear the news on Anthony Davis. He's questionable. The biggest news here for New Orleans, though, outside of Anthony Davis, Drew Holiday is probable to return in this game and going to come off the bench. They don't expect him to play 30 minutes. I kind of see him easing back in here, probably projecting him around 22 minutes in this game.
Yeah, I want to roster him. Can't do it, though, in this spot. But
he's 7,900 on FanDuel. You can't roster him because of price.
I want to, though.
30 minutes.
Not even because I think he's a good play, just because I want to roster him. But I will find a better spot to roster him, though. But it will be very soon, I promise.
Is this the time are we done with Tim Frazier now?
Oh, we should have been done with Tim Frazier weeks ago. Tim Frazier thing was fun. It was a nice month, and now we'll never have to deal with it again.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time before Drew Holiday is playing 30 to 35 minutes a night. So let's talk scenarios here. If Davis is out, Terrence Jones becomes one of the best value plays on the slate. If Davis plays, Terrence Jones becomes one of the best contrarian plays on the slate.
You got it. I couldn't agree with you more. I love Terrence Jones. Portland's here is on a three games and 4 nights with the back-to-back with travel. They could get blown out easily in this spot. This is a really bad spot for Portland. It's a very good spot for all the Pelicans bench guys. Like, I think this game could get out of hand early, and I think in that scenario you'll see them kind of get Drew Holiday those minutes and those shots. They'll get Terrence Jones that work. So I just think that even if Brow plays, I'm not touching him. I think Terrence Jones is the guy, and I'm actually kind of hoping selfishly that Brow gets rolled in.
I think Terrence Jones is trending in the right direction minutes-wise. Like, they're starting to see that they need to use this guy. He's a good basketball player. Like, we've seen him underutilized in Houston all of last year. Like, it's time to get this guy involved.
That would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and then on the other side of this game, any interest in Lillard or McCollum or any of these guys?
0.
We'd love taking guards against New Orleans. I worry about the 3 and 4 night back-to-back on travel. Lillard just hasn't flashed the upside. Even against Houston, it just wasn't there.
Right. I couldn't agree with you more.
And McCollum's price. Like, if McCollum was $6,500 on FanDuel, like, I'd have interest, but that extra 1,000 and needing 5 to 10 extra points, I can't do it.
Yeah, he was a good play tonight because Lillard's been so bad, but I'm not touching him.
Yeah, they moved Alan Crabb into the starting lineup, and he did it. Like,
I was surprised about that. I thought he was going to crush.
Yeah, like, his minutes are trending in the right direction. He's 3,800. If you want like a punt, like, he could play in garbage time if this game does turn into a blowout too.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
All right, here we move on. Dallas, we don't have a line in this game because hold on, CJ. Be patient with me here. There's a bunch of injury news. Mike Conley, probable. Tony Allen, questionable. James Ennis, questionable sprained toe. Going over to the Dallas side, JJ Barea out 4 to 6 weeks. Darren Williams had a setback in the game the other night. He's questionable, probably closer to doubtful. Dirk, questionable. Harris, doubtful. Oh, all right. Whew. Hold on. Need some water. Oh, man. We'll start with the Memphis side. Do yourself a favor. Just click on this game on FanDuel and look at all the orange and red.
All the red on DraftKings. All the red.
Oh, man. So Memphis side, is there anything that piqued your interest here?
You're going to die. You ready? You're sitting down, secured. And this is a guy that I actually rostered on Wednesday, too. And I can't believe I'm saying his name. But hear me out. Vince Carter.
Sure.
The minutes have been really good. And the floor is really high. And I'm just going to duck for cover now.
Yeah, I love Vinsanity.
He's just a great small forward punt option.
But I want Ennis not to play with that sprained toe, and I want Allen to get more on the doubtful side.
I mean, that would be nice. I would take one of those. I don't even need both of them. I don't really want Vince Carter playing 40 minutes. I want him playing like 33.
The last 7 minutes is garbage, and hopefully he gets there. I like Marc Gasol a lot in this game. I feel like he's going to be a contrarian center. Nobody likes playing Marc Gasol, and like somebody on Memphis is going to have to score.
Yeah, I think he'll be super popular, unfortunately. I think the secret's out on Marc Gasol.
Tristan Mike Conley here, the highest paid basketball player in the NBA.
I don't like him very much at the moment. He's on the shit list. So, no, I'm not playing him.
He finally flashed some upside. Like,
what a shocker. He finally flashed some upside. No, I don't. I'm not buying that. 7,200 on FanDuel, forget it. No way. I say that. Mike Conley won me my first ever live final seat, so and I'm just bashing the poor guy. But no, not today.
Little bias, CJ, a little bias. Dallas side, like Harrison Barnes is going to play the whole game. I
Seth
joke.
Curry's the only active guard on the roster.
Oh yeah, Seth Curry in this game.
40 minutes.
You play him. You play him.
40 minutes, probably, at least.
You just play him.
I think you have to consider the Seth Curry Wes Matthews stack.
But true, you're going to get so many minutes for just so little salary.
And Nicholas Bursino, I've never heard of this guy, but he's a guard and he's on the Dallas Mavericks and he's healthy, which puts him in play.
Wouldn't they use Finley Smith more than they would use him, though?
At the 2?
Well, they could play him. They could play Barnes at the 2.
Oh, good God.
Barnes is not coming off the floor. I've made up my mind that Barnes is not coming off the floor.
And he's 6,100, and he's going to be like, what, 60%? He approached like 40-something% on Wednesday.
I don't even care. I'm going to play him.
Oh, man.
There's just positions that I'm not going to fade, and I'm not fading a guy that's going to play 40 minutes.
So tempting, though. I don't disagree, but it
Sure.
is so tempting because he's so point dependent. Like,
Could we
if
go
he
with
goes
like
6 for 25, you can win all the money by fading.
If playing this game, could we really look at like a Harrison Barnes, Wes Matthews, Seth Curry stack?
Yeah. Do we have any word on Dirk yet?
It's just he's questionable is all they're saying. Game time decision. Williams is a game time decision. I think Williams is more doubtful. Like anytime you get a setback in a game, I think that moves more to the doubtful side. And then on the other side, I didn't even say anything. Chandler Parsons' revenge game against Dallas. He's questionable, but closer to probable. They're saying he just hasn't played minutes. Parson, when he gets back up to 30 minutes, that's when we want to start targeting him.
Yeah, not yet. Just let that price keep falling, though.
Yeah, no. Honestly, this is for a game like for a Memphis game, just a game that we usually don't, a team that we don't like a lot. But this game, just there's so much value in this game.
Andrew Bogut at center for 4,400, having to play minutes.
Sure. I just don't know if I love the matchup against Gasol.
Don't love it, but he's only 4,400. Did I mention that part?
Gasol's he doesn't usually block a lot of shots, so he's gonna get some easy blocks in this game.
You would think, but God, Seth Curry's gonna be what, 70% owned and unfadable?
Maybe.
Oh, people, if you don't play Seth Curry in this spot tomorrow, you can just write me a blank check.
All right, let's move on. Toronto had Denver 216 total here. Toronto favored by 4. The injury news here, obviously, Harris is out for a good portion of a time, and Will Barton is doubtful in this game.
Wilson Chandler probable with a back for carrying the team. No, just kidding. He's probable with a hamstring.
Yeah, but we expect him to play.
Will play. But
it's the same. It's the same probable tag that he's had for the last 3 games. So,
but it's kept people off of him. That's fine.
That is true. Wilson Chandler made you and me good portion of money the other night. Definitely going back to the well here.
Yep. Absolutely. Let me think about the reasons why I would not play Wilson Chandler in this spot tomorrow. Let's see. Harrison Barnes is going to be insanely popular. Great leverage play off of Harrison Barnes. Like, actually, there's so many great leverage plays off Harrison Barnes tomorrow.
That's why I don't think he's going to be what you're thinking.
Oh, but I know, but people have just been riding that guy for a while now, and he hasn't disappointed. Oh, my God. I might fade Harrison Barnes tomorrow. This is a disaster.
What's your thoughts here on Moutier? He's a guy that I like a lot with those guys out.
No, the guy's terrible.
Yeah, but you got a guy that's playing a ton of minutes. Kyle Lowry's defense is less than good.
What's his upside?
Probably 40. I think 40 would be his ceiling. Like his upside's probably 35. His ceiling's probably 40. Well, let's look at it. 39.6 against Boston, where he played 39 minutes earlier this season.
Yeah, he had like 23 real life points in the first quarter.
He hit 30 total. Like, but that's what I'm saying. Though, like with these guys out, it's just opening up.
I'm not going there. I get it. It's not for me.
Anybody else from Denver that you like? Maybe kind of interesting in some Gallinari?
Nah, I'm just gonna save the money and play Chandler. Fareed? Did we talk about Fareed the GOAT?
Oh, Fareed.
He's gonna get Pascal Siakam and Patrick Patterson. I fear for them. They're probably having nightmares in their sleep tonight.
What would happen if Fareed just averaged 35 minutes a game?
He would go for like 22 and 17, which is what he did that one year until like every coach just puts him on the bench for no reasons.
I think it's more like attitude and like how he acts. That's
Yeah,
why he
you know
ends
what?
up on the bench.
A lot of NBA players have bad attitudes. As long as you ball, get your ass on the floor.
Sums it up. Looking at the Toronto side, DeMar DeRozan's 9,200 on FanDuel. Thank you, FanDuel. Thank you.
Good. People are going to keep playing him. We're going to keep getting complaints like, oh, I put up another 49 points today. Yes, he did. Congratulations.
Sure. Congrats.
Good. Like, just keep him up here, FanDuel. DraftKings, too. You guys have done a great job in making people think that they're getting value on DeMar DeRozan. I applaud you. You've done your job. Now it's our turn to make the money off of it. Like, you've done your job. You've priced him where he needs to be priced. And now it's time for us to just let the people keep rolling him out there. Not you, listeners. You're smarter than that, though.
The dud is going to happen. Any interest in Kyle Lowry?
It's Emmanuel Mudiay defense. You have to, right?
Yeah, and I feel like he's going to be the guy that's going to start benefiting.
I'm not paying that DraftKings price, though. And I'm really not paying that FanDuel price. I might be out on Lowry.
Play, man. Like we're looking at a 216 total. Toronto, one of the highest implied totals on the slate. Like,
okay, would you rather play Kemba or Kyle Lowry?
How about both?
That's a lot of cap.
Yeah, but if you're not playing Westbrook and you take two guys and not,
yeah, I guess it's doable. You're not getting a superstar if you do that, though.
It all depends. Like, there's so much value in Dallas.
Oh, that's so true. But what's the superstar worth paying for? Like, I guess we'll get there. I guess we'll talk about some more in the next game. But where's the superstar you really want to pay for?
There's a guy later. Don't worry. There's a guy we're going to talk about that's, I think, worth paying for on the slate.
I think it's the next game, isn't it?
Let's talk about it. We have the Clippers at Sacramento. We have a 205.5 total in this game. Clippers favored by 7. We're going to start with the home team here. If you're paying it for a stud, I think it's DeMarcus Cousins on the slate.
Okay. Why?
Why not? He's going to murder DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, that's all very fair points. Yeah, he's a guy.
I think he's fourth in usage in the NBA or third in usage in the NBA.
Well, here's the problem. He's free. He's going to be so damn popular, and Boogie can get himself thrown out at any point.
Sure. I get that point. Like, if you want to go down to like a Brook Lopez or Martin tournaments, I have no issue with that. But like, if I'm playing a single entry tournament, I'm playing Cousins. He
is the guy that I would be most likely to play in my cash games.
Yeah, I love this spot for him. There's no reason not to love this spot for him. He's going to be the only reason that the Kings stay close in this game.
That's probably true.
And just to real quick, not to like backtrack too much, like Kyle Lowry is the same price as Isaiah Thomas on FanDuel. Kyle Lowry is going to be like 5% owned on this slate. Just saying.
Who's going to be single digits?
You don't think Kyle Lowry is going to be 5% owned? Same price as Isaiah Thomas.
But people have been riding Kyle Lowry. Like, I think the recency bias is going to keep people on him. Like, I think Isaiah Thomas is the one that's going to sneak through the cracks.
Oh, man, I hope that's true. All
right, or it's going to be Kemba, because those red numbers, man, those are scary. Scary business, those red numbers.
Oh, they are scary. Anybody else that you like from Sacramento outside of Cousins here?
I think Rudy Gay is in play here. We know that they play small forward roulette there in Clipperland, and we haven't had the Rudy Gay game in a while, and the price is at the point now where I could hop on board.
I've been telling myself this is not the spot, and it's going to make me mad, but I've been telling myself right when Collison gets up to the 30 minutes and we start seeing minutes, I'm jumping on. I'm not going to do it this game, but he's there.
Why? We've just seen point guards go off on Chris Paul all season.
But it worries me. It really does.
Give yourself a splash of exposure. Save yourself the torture when he goes off for 35.
I've been telling myself
The
like
price is too cheap. Like I'm writing it down right
gets to
now.
30. I'm not playing.
I'm writing this down right now because I'm gonna forget tomorrow and I'm gonna get mad. And I'm gonna write down he's 5K on DK so I don't forget to give myself exposure because it's a great call.
Outside of that, I'm not going to touch the bench. There's other value plays we've already talked about that I'm going to definitely play over these guys. Clippers side, I definitely have some interest in Blake Griffin here.
I'm not touching Blake. Again, it's just too much value at power forward. I can't go there.
Yeah, I get that. What about Paul? And I will say, like, all these Clippers are going to be extremely low owned. All of them.
I think I would just play JJ Redick. I know that feels a little chasey, but shooting guards against the Kings has been a thing for as long as we've played DFS, and he's been shooting the ball well lately, getting over 12 shots a game, and 4,500 isn't exactly like an insane price for the guy.
Yeah, actual points, 29, 18, 16, 10, 20. Actual points.
Yeah, like I think that like he's sneaky. He's not quite priced up to the point where you have to get off of him. What is he on FanDuel?
4,500.
Oh man, it's so easy to fit Russell Westbrook in your lineups this today.
It's so
where's
easy.
Where's the starter pay up for?
Cousins, baby, Cousins.
Oh, man,
there could be like a 15 to 20 point gap at center if Cousins does what he's supposed to in this game.
15 to 20 point gap at center. Boy,
I really think that.
I think you're under repping the Lopez Gasol tier.
Lopez could definitely get up there.
So could Gasol. He's done it this year.
I think Gasol's more of a floor play.
You'd think that, right? But this year, with all those terrible weapons around him, he's gotten into the 40s multiple times.
Can he get to the 50s, though?
Do we need him to?
Because Cousins can get to the 70s.
Yeah, but there's also 2,700. You think he's going to get into the 70s?
Dude, I love Cousins in the spot.
Wow.
I really do.
That is – wow.
I like him more for the 60s, but the 70s is possible.
Wow. All right, Stevie. You really are all in on the boogeyman.
Yep,
I don't like this. Why am I being the voice of reason on the boogeyman? I love Boogie.
It's good though, right? That's what we want. Like, it needs to switch.
I don't want to be the voice of reason on Boogie. I want to be all in on Boogie.
All right. Well, you can let me talk you into it all day tomorrow. San Antonio at LA taking on the Lakers. 208 total in this game. 6.5 favorites is the San Antonio Spurs. Like this line, we talked about it before we started. This line, when I was doing my research here, is just like, all right, the Lakers are actually a decent basketball team.
Or Pop could just be popping us.
Oh, there's no chance. Zero chance. Like, honestly, there's zero chance I play Pau Gasol in this game.
Would you play him if you knew he was playing?
Probably not.
He is. Wow. Really? Man, Pau has just been on fire.
He is on fire, and he goes back to LA. There's all the narratives there and everything like that. People are going to – Powell's going to be one of the higher-owned centers on the slate.
I thought so until I just realized there's no one else to pay up for. Like, there's no one to pay up for. Like, there's Boogie, right? But if you're playing Pau, you can't play Boogie. You've got Westbrook, but like Steph Curry and Isaiah Thomas, like I guess they eat up a little bit of your cap, but it's not like, oh my God. The Durant, LeBron, like, man, this slate's interesting because there's no real obvious spot to pay up. There's no James Harden on this slate.
Yeah, there's Westbrook. There's always Westbrook. Like looking into Gasol a little bit more, I guess they have loosened the reins a little bit more than I have even realized. Like 30+ minutes in 4 straight now. Why is the line 6.5? Are the Lakers really this good?
They're either this good, which they could be. They could be that good, or Pop's going to do something.
No more late swap. So I have a little bit more interest. I guess I have more interest in Gasol than I originally said.
Okay, but what do you think the odds are he gets popped here?
Oh, man.
Right?
But it could be LaMarcus Aldridge, too, getting the day off with the game being in L.A. and Powell going up against his old team.
Then if we fit him, we're probably going to lose if it's Aldridge. Right? I mean, because Powell's going to be chalky. There's no way for them to run about that. He will be chalky. So it's like Chalk who could get popped is I don't know. It's definitely interesting.
So here's what I would probably do in this situation, because now I'm like looking at it more and more, and my initial thoughts have kind of changed. If I'm playing single entry, I'm playing Cousins. I've made that very clear. If I'm playing 3-entry max, I might do 2 Cousins and a Gasol.
You really want to do that and be underweight on Pau Gasol?
I want to be 33%. I don't think it'll be higher than that.
I think he will be.
If you're telling me Boogie's going to be low.
I mean, the problem is there's no one to pay up for other than Westbrook. This all comes down to what are people going to do with Russell Westbrook versus Victor Oladipo. Because if people are playing Westbrook, then okay, then Powell's going to be super chalky, right? But if people are getting off of Westbrook in this spot, then they're going to have to pay up for Boogie. Unless people are just going to play Brow. Oh, Brow, please
this
play.
slate is so fun.
Please play Brow, because you'll get 35% ownership in a game where you're going to blow them out anyways.
This is definitely a fun.
The winning score is going to be in the 400s on FanDuel. Will be in the 400s.
Are you playing anybody from the Lakers in this game?
Julius Randle?
Sure. I don't think I'm going to go there.
Man, he's such a beast, though. He might be turning into mini Draymond on us, and I don't want to miss out on that. I'm very, very bullish on Julius Randle.
Yeah, I'm kind of off the Lakers on this in this spot.
I get it, but man, if I'm gonna get Julius Randle at like 2%, whew, it's tempting.
All right, well, that's going to do it for the game-by-game breakdown here on the slate. Let's talk some rosters, value plays. If you guys haven't checked out our sponsor, rosters.com, make sure you head on over there, use promo code Grinders. That way you guys get incentives here at Roto Grinders. Each day we do rosters value plays Monday through Friday. So today it's basketball. So let's talk some value plays. I'll let you lead off here. I think we're going to have some of the same guys.
Kenneth Faried, 7,900. Is he on your board?
Not on my board.
Oh, man, Stevie, come on. Wilson Chandler, the GOAT, 8,200.
On my board.
Seth Curry, the GOAT, 7,500.
On my board.
I told you we'd have 2.
I have 2 other guys that I had written down just in case we had come to the same terms on people. Marcus Smart is 8,100. I think that he's a fine play. I think, like you were saying, I think Boston could go small in this game, even if Crowder returns. And then Harrison Barnes is 9,800. He's just a lock for your cash games over there under 10K on rosters today.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that.
All right. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
No, not really.
Why don't you tell us about your awesome basketball package here at the Daily Marketplace on Roto Grinders?
Yeah, so package has had a very, very good week. So, there'll be a live show tomorrow. Check that out. Probably 4:30 Eastern. You get access to my model. You get access to my tournament rankings, point per dollar, nice simple point per dollar rankings, and then chat and show. So it'll be a lot of fun. Probably won't be as active in chat though if I keep my 5:30 show. Might try to swap out of that.
That's gonna do it here. Obviously, this is last week of NASCAR, so if you guys haven't checked out my NASCAR package here, you can win it. We're gonna give away 2 packages tomorrow, so make sure you guys head over to my Twitter at StevieTBFL, retweet, like, and follow me, and you'll have a chance to win one of the packages. And then tomorrow night at the welcome party for the for the DraftKings Live Final, I'm gonna give away something with some funny random questions. So we're going to give away a package that way as well. So make sure you guys are checking that out. And last week got a chance to be the NASCAR champion here this weekend. CJ, I'm kind of pumped about this.
I think I like your chances. I don't know what the odds are, but I would bet on Team Stevie. That's for sure.
It's just this race, and if you guys have my NASCAR package, I talked about this in my preview article this week. This race is by far the hardest race of the year to project. We have never been here with this aerodynamic package before, which makes it tough to project what's going to happen with the cars. The tires wear out fast at this race. This race starts in the daytime and ends at night. Here, and I have in my NASCAR preview article this week, I have some quotes from drivers from Media Day today talking about this race, so make sure you guys are checking it out. It was really cool. But that's going to do it here for the Friday edition. We'll be back on Monday. Good luck in your contest this weekend. If you haven't checked out the NFL podcast from Thursday, a lot of goodness in there. We got our 3 listeners we're playing against this week. Hopefully we don't crap the bed again, but that's going to do it. Good luck in your basketball contest. Good luck in your NASCAR. Good luck in your NFL contest, and we'll see you guys again on Monday.